Hello there, World of Tankers, I'm Blitz, and in today's video, we're going to be comparing the Amx 30B to the STB1. Now, both of these, of course, are tier 10 medium tanks, and very similar ones at that. You may think, well, how are they similar? One goes way quicker, one's got more armor. Well, if you look at the front of them, you'll notice that they're pretty similar in stature. They've got the same upper plate, they've got a very similar turret design. Then you move onto the side as well. The STB1 and the 30B look almost identical on the sides of the vehicle. Yeah, the 30B is a little bit taller, but it's got that same flat turret design. It's got the same elongated hull. Overall, I really think the 30B and the STB1 are very similar in the ways they play. Now, of course, the 30B has its one advantage over the STB, and the STB has a couple advantages over the 30B. But I actually think that both of these vehicles, if played correctly, are very strong in their own respective attributes. So, of course, what's good about the Amx 30B? Because we're starting off with this tank. Now, it doesn't have great damage per minute, I'll tell you that. The STB1 kind of reeks in the damage per minute compared to this vehicle. You're only sitting at around 3,000 base with this tank, which isn't bad, you know. You still got enough. You're kind of like a Vickers Light with this vehicle. And I am running calibrated on it, so I'm down to 2,800. But sadly, it really doesn't have the most damage per minute. As well, it definitely does not have the most accurate gun. Its aiming time, yeah, it's not great. Neither is the dispersion at 0.308. It's not bad dispersion, don't get me wrong. In fact, it's exactly the same dispersion as the STB1. It's about the same aiming time as well. So I'd rate the gun on this about exactly the same as the STB. The only issue with the real gun on this tank is kind of the dispersion on move is not the best. It's not terrible, but at the same time, you'd think it'd be a little bit better. So let's see what we're dealing with here. We got the Sheridan and as well the T92E1. The main thing that I would say is great about the Amx 30B, of course, is the mobility. This tank is able to go really quick, and like the Sheridan here literally can't run away from me. I'm quick enough to keep up with the Sheridan because I am able to go 65 kilometers per hour. Now that is a very respectable top speed. So that means this poor Sheridan here, well, yeah, this guy literally can't run away from me because I'm able to just keep up with him. This tank is kind of like a Leopard that you just slapped a good amount of armor on, which of course I am all for because I love my armor profile. So when you give me a tank that not only is extremely mobile but a good gun and as well armor, that is where I am really enjoying the vehicle, and that is what the 30B is all about, is it has that great armor, and as well it's kind of got other attributes going for it. Now, of course, I want to farm this mouse up here, although I will say this T30 looks like he wants to shoot us at the same time, which is not super fun for me. So let's get a nice tracking shot. Well, I didn't track him, but it's fine. We'll just back up here. Again, this tank's got decent damage per minute, so I don't really need to worry that much. He's taken out already, and let's continue pounding shell after shell into this poor mouse here. There we go, another nice tap into the mouse. Now, the premium pen and the standard pen on this vehicle are about average for your tier 10s. I don't think it's spectacular premium pen. I think it's about 225. That was a crazy shot. The fact that that hit is kind of ridiculous. But yeah, the pen on this vehicle is not ridiculous, but it's good enough to get the job done. And finishing now off the mouse, who do we have next? We got the Object 704 right off to the front here. Again, I'm going to try and use my armor here, bounce the shot. Now, I haven't really been shot at all this game, which of course is good. So, didn't really get to show off the armor, but I'd say the armor kind of works the exact same as the STB. Now, of course, he was able to shoot us in the hull, which makes sense that the hull isn't very armored. As I said, the hull of this vehicle is pretty much a Leopard. So if you're not using it with, you know, your hull armor hidden, you're gonna pretty much bleed all of your hit points. But when you're in a 10 degrees of, by the way, this thing does have 10 degrees, of course, because gotta have it. So it's got that 10 degrees. So when you put it in a gun depression position where you're able to work it, that's where the Amx 30B really does a good job. Now, moving on to the STB1, what is good about this tank and also what is bad? So as I said before, the Amx 30B definitely is not the best in the gun statistics, and the STB is definitely about the same. To be honest, I count the STB gun like a 30B gun, just with about 200 more damage per minute, which definitely is very helpful. But at the same time, it does carry that bad dispersion, and it really does show, like, when you're on a game with a 62A, that 62A doesn't miss shots. You know, this tank, if you're trying to shoot at people, I'd say about 200 meters away, you miss about 20-30% of the shots fired in it. So definitely one issue with the STB and the Amx 30B I just want to put out there. But on the contrary, the STB1 is the highest performing tier 10 medium currently in the game, and is there a reason for that? Well, yes, there is. That's because this tank pretty much has everything going for it you'd want. It has 10 degrees of gun depression. It has very good turret armor. The issue with the 30B is that it doesn't really have good hull, where, you know, this tank doesn't really have good hull armor, but it's good enough to bounce the occasional shot, where the 30Bs, yeah, it doesn't really bounce any shots in the hull. Now, we did get tapped, as I said, right through the hull armor, so, you know, my luck, but that was probably a TD or maybe the 57 heavy. Not really sure what would shoot me there, but I'm going to hold here. It looks like the enemy team is kind of in a weird position right now. I kind of thought they'd push up, try and deal with me over here, but they're dealing with our E5, and I can tell you they're not doing the best of jobs at it either. So nobody's being spotted here. I did get shot right about there, and nobody is being detected, which is kind of weird. You know, you'd usually expect to spot somebody, but the issue right now is I'm very tempted to push up and deal with those tanks there, but I can't because, of course, I don't really know what they're doing, so it's kind of weird, and I'm very tempted still to push up there, see what the enemy team is doing. We got that 50B who's now pulling out. Nice little tap into that 50B. There's the E4. Oof. Well, there with the 50B. Pretty nice shot from our Jagdpanzer. I'll give you that credit. But, so the WT is the only tank I don't know where he is. And the WT, of course, is a pretty deadly vehicle to me. So let's get a nice tap right into the butt of that STB-1. Already running away. Can't say that is the best of moves there, but let's see. We've got the Sheridan here. Again, nice little taps. This is where the gun really does work well. When you're able to work those gun depression positions, it really does do a pretty sweet job. So, like right now, of course, I don't want to expose my weak armor, especially if they have like a WT. Oh, nice shot again from that Yag. That Yag is kicking some serious booty with those shots. So we got that bat shot. There you go. Nice HE in the side. Of course, this thing carries that wonderful HE, and yes, that is the WT. So he's camping all the way at the back, it would seem, unless the 57 Heavy's back there. But I can't imagine that 57 Heavy would be camping. You know what? You never can go too far with people. So it could be that 57 Heavy camping, but I don't really know. Maybe the WT? No. Okay, it is the WT. Just wanted to clarify my mind, because I was like, there's no way that the 57's camping, but I've lost my mind as it is with many Blitz games before, so I'm going to go and try and see if I can get a shot maybe into this 57 Heavy. He's right off to the side here. He's kind of distracted with my teammate, so let's see if we can get a shot into him. There we go. Nice tap. That'll kind of hold him off, I have a feeling. He can't really pen me in the turret. If he does, it'll be a miracle for him. But yeah, I'll just sit here. Again, another nice tap into the 57 Heavy. This is where the STB is just a ridiculously strong vehicle. Like, there's nothing really that 57 can do to me in a position like this. And I've already taken literally 1,000 HP off of that poor guy. So, yeah, this is just a super solid vehicle if played correctly. Now we've got the T10E4. Gonna pop on my adrenaline here, see if we can out-reload him for another shot, and, well, oof, yeah, there's the dispersion, as I said. Occasionally, you get that bounce, and you don't want it, because that bounce caused that E4 to survive right now, but yeah, it really does kind of mess up occasional shots that you really don't want it to, and sadly, our team is still kind of losing this match. Thankfully, our Yag is still alive, which, as of course I said before, is actually doing a pretty sweet job, but I kind of want that E4 to pull out. I'm just waiting patiently here. Hopefully our E5 does not blow this. But what else do we have? Okay, thankfully that guy was taken out. So what else do we have? We got the STB right there. That is a player I need to clear, of course. And we also got the 57 Heavy, who looks like he's pushing out quite aggressive here. So this 57 Heavy is going to shoot 2 shells off, which means now he's going to be on a clip reload once I do shoot at him here, which means I will gladly take the shot from this 57, and I will now completely just obliterate him, which is perfect for me. So let's even try and track him here, of course. I don't want him to be able to back up. So I'm just going to constantly shoot shell after shell at this 57 here. Again, nice little tap into him. And a little bit of a high roll here. We should be able to finish off this 57 Heavy. Now, if I don't finish him off, this is really bad for me because, well, yeah, like that. This is now really bad for me because, of course, the 57 might be able to just completely clear us with singular shots, which did happen. So I got a little cocky there, but sometimes your shots don't necessarily go where they want to. We did do a good effort, though. I cannot complain about the STB. Sadly, my happy win rate, I had to 77% this vehicle, is slowly draining, but again, I can't complain. We did, what, 4,000 damage there. My team just didn't really cut it 100%, but I can't complain. So let's go back to the garage here. I'll see how this game did work out in the end, but yeah, so as you can see, both of these tanks are very strong, and would the 30B have done better there? Honestly, no. It would have done about the same as the STB. So I do think that both of these vehicles are very similar, and you can play them pretty much the same. If you're good in the Amx 30B, you'll do great in the STB. If you're great in the STB, you'll do great in the 30B. They're both great. I will say, though, that the STB is a better tier 10 tank just because it's got the DPM advantage, and as well, it's got a little bit more armor. But at the same time, if you're a better player, the 30B can as well do super good things because you can change positions a lot easier in the 30B compared to where the STB can't. So I like both vehicles. How did we do in that game? I just want to check. We did, yeah, 4.7 thousand damage, so pretty hefty amount. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Other than that, I hope you're all doing well out there. Stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next one.